So let's take a closer look about some complex modeling tools. Well, first we should go back to our modeling layout by pressing this guy here and checking this modeling option, and you can see we are again in our modeling layout. We'll most definitely need an object to work on, so we'll create a simple one, let's say a cube. We'll give it some segments, for example 1, 2, 3. You see, changing these options one by one can be a little bit clumsy, so you can select these lettery representations by your shift key, and once you have selected all the attributes that you want to change, you can simply hold down the control key and change those values in one. Yeah, that's one of those control or shift or additional functionalities in Cinema 4D, and when you release control key you can change options one by one. Okay, that's a nice little trick. I believe 3 segments on each side will be enough, so let's convert it to our polygon object. Okay, we're pressing C, and let's go to, for example, a face mode. Well, the first complex tool that I want you to meet is this matrix extrude guy. Okay, actually this, you see this grid, this can be a little bit distracting yourself. I'll just turn it off by going to filter menu here and uncheck this grid option. So you get to picture everything that is related to viewport, or anything that can be changed or you even think it could be changed in viewport is found here under viewport menu. Okay, so we can select some faces for this demonstration. Let's select with our live selection tool, for example, these 4 faces, and activate our matrix extrude tool. Okay, now if you pull the mouse with your left mouse button, you will see an instant extrusion that has many sub steps. You can lower that steps amount here. And there are many things to play here. You can play with the position, you can play with the scale of the extrusions, you can even rotate in the direction you would like. So basically you get the picture. This is really nice tool to create complex shapes. Here under variation you can set some options. Really experiment with those options, because once you get familiar with these tools, there will be absolutely nothing you won't be able to model. Okay? The next complex tool I would like you to meet is this magnet tool. So once again, before actually selecting another tool, go to your move tool with E, just to prevent moving something accidentally or doing some action you don't want to. Okay, so let's enable our magnet tool. Now you see there is some sort of circular preview in your viewport. And now watch this. If I want to do something with this tool in this area, even if I click, nothing happens. Why? Well, because Cinema is made in this manner. Anything that is selected, the tools will work on that selection only. So if I don't change anything and come here in this area where something is selected, I will be able to manipulate it in some way. So this tool basically behaves like a magnet. If you want to work on a whole object, just deselect everything with Ctrl Shift and A, and you will be able to work on a whole model. Okay, you can increase the strength, the radius, and many other things. Explore this tool. There is a similar functionality under Move, Scale and Rotate tool here under Soft Selection. If you enable it and select some, let's say in our point mode, select a point, you will see a yellow gradient representation. That means this area will be affected also, even though this little point is only one selected. So if I now move this, you'll see all these areas are following, and they're following the fall off that is defined here. That can be, for example, a bell fall off, a little bit different, and the radius, you can increase the radius. Okay, and you see I increased it so much that basically only this area here will be affected with very small amount. So look at the picture, it's just like a soft selecting tools. So between the magnet tool and the soft selection tool, well, whatever works for you, it is just fine. Some people find magnet tool much more better, and some people find this soft selection option under Move, Scale or Rotate to be much better. So for example, you can rotate and create really interesting effects. Okay, so to exit this soft selection mode, just uncheck this enable option and you are back in normal mode where you manipulate a single point. Okay, so we pretty much wrecked this cube, and it will be a good position or starting ground for a brush tool. That's this guy here. So the brush tool, currently I have this only one point selected. So if I try to do anything, it will only be active on this point. Sometimes you can accidentally select a point and you will think, why the hell is this tool not working? Well, in almost 100% of times when some tool does not work or it doesn't work the way you think it should work, it's probably your fault. It's very, very rare for cinema to have bugs or to behave unpredictably or to even crash. That's extremely rare. Okay, so let's deselect all. So Control Shift and A. The opposite to that tool is Control A, which means select all points, but we don't want that now, so we'll select all. So currently this brush tool is a very, very nice and powerful tool. It has many options, and the most important here is mode. It's currently set to smear, so basically I will smear this geometry. Okay, the most commonly used option is, I presume it's a smooth option, and it basically smooths out. Okay, maybe this is a bit too strong effect, so you can undo that and set this strength to something much lower. So let's say around 20, somewhere around 20%, and now the effect will be a little smoother, a little less pronounced. Okay, so you can basically smooth things out. Okay, one really useful mode is the normal mode. You can consider this mode as a bulge mode. So it basically bulges out. It's not technically correct, but it will give you a good idea what to do. I'm not trying to be too technical here. It will just confuse you. Okay, so it bulges out. So also experiment with these tools. Also try to really understand what each mode does. The follow basically defines how the follow from the center of this circle to the end of this circle is defined. Okay, so we have some constant follow would mean it's constantly has the same effect. Okay, we can do that. So this pretty much covers the complex tools. They're not really complex, you just have to familiarize yourself with those tools. They're extremely powerful, and once you pick up those basic tools and few of these more complex tools, you will be able to model anything. Okay? In our next lesson we will check some selection tools. Why? Well, when models become more detailed and you will want to select certain parts of your model to manipulate in a certain way, sometimes this can be a little bit time consuming. So you'll explore various selection tools that Cinema offers, just to simplify, just to help you in selecting your component modes. Either way, if you select edges or points or faces, just to help you out creating multiple selections. So let's say for some reason, just a brief intro to our next lesson. Let's say you want to select with our live selection tools all these faces that go in circular motion. This would be a pretty annoying to orbit the scene and press the shift key to add to selection, and then once again, and this is time consuming, and this is exactly what we want to avoid when we are modeling. So we will explore selection tools in Cinema 4D, which are really great. So see you in the next lesson.